This audio is brought to you by Muslim Central. Please consider donating to help cover our running costs and future projects by visiting www.muslimcentral.com/donate.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Brothers and sisters, it has been authentically reported with a Hassan chain of isnad, reported by Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal in Fadail al-Sahaba and in some of the Mu'ajam of Abi Ya'la and others, that Khalid bin Walid, when he went to the land called Al-Hira, this is in Iraq, or in the border of Iraq, between Iraq and where Kuwait is now. When he went to Al-Hira, the Muslims were a little bit afraid of the magicians over there and the witchcraft that used to be performed at that time in the land of Persia. So they came to Khalid bin Walid and said, we are afraid that these people might harm us. In one narration, the people actually said that we will surrender to you if you drink our poison. So the Khalid bin Walid radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, bring this poison to me. So they concocted the most amazing poisons that was available at that time, and it was almost 100% poison, and they gave him a cup full of that poison, and then Khalid bin Walid said Bismillah, and then he drank it, and he was never ever harmed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He never died. So Ikhwani, this is a narration which many of the scholars of Islam use in order to demonstrate that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has written harm for you, then no one can stop it, right? And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protects you, then no one can harm you. Meaning every single thing from goodness to evil is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only. So there is no use in us in fearing others other than Allah, and no use in us in having hope in others other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is why إِذَا سَأَلْتَ فَاسْأَلِ اللَّهِ, if you ask anyone, ask only from Allah. And if you were to fear anyone, فَلَا تَخَافُوهُمْ وَخَافُونِي إِن كُنْتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ, do not fear them, but fear me if indeed you are believers, right? To fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the true fear should be from Allah, and true hope should be from Allah, and true asking should only be from Allah. So in this work that we do today, working for the Ummah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and in our day-to-day lives, some of us are very, very risk averse, and some of us are those who are always worried that if I do this, this will happen. If I do that, that will happen. You know, those sort of individuals are people who lead their life with fear. Those people who have phobias of anything from leaving the job, phobias of investments, phobias of taking any small risks, phobias of, oh, don't go there, don't go for holiday there, don't travel there, don't do this, don't do that. SubhanAllah, these sort of people, they never end up doing anything much in their life, and they lead their life with a constant notion of fear overseeing and overarching around them every single moment of their life. Those sort of people will never be able to achieve anything good at all. Rather, the Prophet ﷺ always encouraged only having fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only. And Ikhwani, if we truly had this faith in Allah Azza wa Jal as we should have, then we should know that by Allah nothing can harm us at all. It was reported that Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah once had a debate with a Sufi Shaykh by the name of Rifa'i from the Rifa'i clan. You know, the Sufis have many tariqas. One of them was the Rifa'i tariqa, and he called this guy. And these Sufis of the Rifa'i clan, what they used to do is they used to put lots of very thick amounts of duhan, which is fat on their bodies, which would give them a protective cover on their skin, and then they would walk into fire and walk out quickly. Okay, so they would light a fire into a ring of fire, and they would walk into the fire and walk out quickly and show the people, hey, look at me, I'm not touched by the fire, as if that they are some sort of miracle. So Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah said to them, you know, you try to fool people in this manner. And so he said to them, now look at this lantern in front of me, bring this lantern. So he called the Shaykh and said, put your finger, just one finger, into this lantern, and I will put my finger, and whoever's finger is burnt, then upon him is a curse of Allah and all of the angels and all of mankind. And so the sheikh, the Sufi sheikh, he did not put his finger in, knowing that his truth has been uncovered. And so فَبُهِتَ الَّذِي كَفَرَ. So the one who was the liar was discovered at that point from this debate. So the students of Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah came to Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah and said, Ya Shaykh, were you going to put your finger really? Were you really going to put your finger into the fire? He said, yes. So the student said, but Ya Shaykh, wouldn't it have been burnt? Isn't it like committing suicide? He said, no. Whoever does something for the sake of Allah, whoever does something for the sake of Allah, knowing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all protector, and knowing that all protection is from Allah, and does it for the safety of Islam, and does it for the good of Islam, then indeed he will never be harmed, bi'idhnillah. Never be harmed. It is for this reason, my brothers and sisters, all of those who are working for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, do what you need to do for the sake of Islam without ever being afraid that you'll be harmed. Because if you are afraid that you'll be harmed, then you will be harmed. But you are afraid that you will not be harmed, and your fear is only from Allah, and you know that all the protection is only from Allah, then bi'idhnillah, continue to take calculated risks and do your work without being afraid of anyone but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you will find tremendous barakah in your work. Jazakallah khair. Until the next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
This audio is brought to you by Muslim Central. Please consider donating to help cover our running costs and future projects by visiting www.muslimcentral.com/donate.